Okay, hello and happy 4th. I hope you are having a phenomenal start to your holiday and that you are surrounded by love and things that you enjoy and that you stay safe and have a fantastic day. And on that note, I want to talk about the benefits of setting and writing down your goals for the day. And the reason why I think daily goals are important is because they can grow with you. So let's say you're heading towards a big goal or a dream of yours, and you're taking steps to your goal every day. Well, your goals are going to change because as you're progressing, your goals are going to need to shift with you each day. So instead of just writing down like random goals for the day, I like to encourage the people I'm working with and myself and Keone and friends or whatever to write down goals that are actionable steps towards the big goal, the dream. And so that way, what you're doing throughout your day, those little consistency, that those little steps are going to add up and they're going to get you to that big goal, right? So it also gives you instant feedback throughout the day. Kind of, did that work? Did you enjoy it? Do you need to do less? Could you do more? Where are you at? And so here's some examples. Okay, so let's say your goal is to release some weight, because that is such a common goal for so many people, for men and women. So let's say you're trying to release weight. Well, what would some of your actionable steps be for the day? So instead of just saying, I want to lose weight, that's my goal. So instead of doing that, you would write down, today I want to eat 2 vegetables with each meal. So you write that down, and then maybe another goal that you would write down for the day is you want to hit 8,000 steps on your Fitbit. Or like, for example, one of my own personal goals that I have is I have my water bottle, and I know Makayo decorated it for me. So I try to drink, my goal is to drink 3 of these a day, okay? So that really just makes sure that I get my water intake for the day, and it's easy to measure because I know when I've completed and filled it up again. And so that's a goal of mine for the day. So another goal would be, like, let's pretend you wanted to write a blog, okay? So instead of saying, oh, I have to write 3 blog posts for the week, you know, if your goal is to write a blog post, then you could write down on your daily thing that my goal today is to write 1 sentence of my blog post. And then, so the reason why you want to do kind of like easier goals also with that is if I say I'm going to write 1 sentence, if I write 1 sentence, usually I'm going to write a couple more. But if I stop at that 1 sentence, hey, I accomplished it and I feel good. And I just got a little bit of a confidence boost, okay? So here are some benefits of writing these down every day. And then at the end of the day, acknowledging your accomplishments. So I truly believe that when we say we're going to do something and we do it, it helps us increase our confidence and our feel good about ourselves. Like, we feel good about who we are. We feel proud of ourselves, and not in like an egotistical way, but just in a basic, like, hey, I follow through with what I say. I care about myself enough to do what I say I'm going to do for the day. And that's why it's also important that these goals are actually achievable goals, that they're realistic for you for your day, because you know what your day looks like. So if I'm saying I need to hit 20,000 steps on my Fitbit, and like my history shows I've only been hitting 4,000, that 20,000 is too big of a jump right now. So the 8,000 is more realistic, and I could actually achieve that goal and feel good about it. Because what happens if we set the goals too big, then we don't hit them, we give up on ourselves. Oh, it was too hard, I can't do it. So then the next day you go totally off, you know, don't do anything, and it just kind of becomes this like cycle and this pattern where we spiral and take steps farther and farther and farther away from the goal that we're trying to hit. So we actually want to be moving towards our goal, and we can do that with small steps, you guys. Small steps get us there, you know, and it just is awesome when you accomplish what you say you're going to do. So be realistic with yourself and set the actionable steps that, even sometimes I feel like if we set the basketball, like I have a 6-year-old, right? And if I take him to the basketball court, the basketball hoops are too high for him right now. So does it mean he sucks at basketball? No, they're just too high because they're made for adults, right? So sometimes we need to bring that basketball hoop down so that we can actually achieve the basket, right? So we can make some baskets and feel good. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do for yourself. Okay, so your self-esteem increases. You feel more confident in yourself because you're following through with what you said. Just like if you're not following through with what you said you would do, you kind of beat yourself up about it, right? And it kind of feeds into that self-hate, that self-doubt, that negative self-talk, and it lowers your self-esteem. And we don't want to do that. That's not our goal here. Okay? The other thing, it helps you keep track, right? You're keeping track of what you're doing, what's working for you, what you need to tweak, and it shows that you're making progress towards your goal, right? So that's really awesome, and who doesn't love that? So, and it can grow with you. So let's say you start off with that 8,000 steps a day. Well, I'm nailing those, and I've been nailing those on a consistent basis. So now I can go to 12,000 steps a day. Do you know what I mean? And it can just continue to build with you. So it's really cool to think of it on that way. Also, every time you cross off a line is kind of like a dopamine hit. So it's like those feel good, those happy hormones get released. And it's also good to just reflect on what you're doing, because that also feels good when you're accomplishing the goals that you set out for yourself for the day. I also really think that how we end the night is going to just influence our mood and how we sleep and our mood for the next day. So if I end the day kind of reviewing my accomplishments that I did that day, and I look at my little goal list and I say, oh, wow, I did this and I accomplished that and I accomplished this, then the next morning I'm going to feel like, I've got this. I'm ready to start, even if you're feeling a little bit like, ugh. But I also think if we end the night like in a gratitude state, we have better sleep, we have sweeter dreams, and we just feel good. It's a nice way to end the day, to recap the highlights of it, the positives of the day, and just kind of spending that moment in gratitude, because research has shown that gratitude gives us a boost of all those happy hormones also. So who doesn't love that? Gratitude is really a phenomenal thing. And if you end your night with gratitude, everything's okay. Do you know what I mean? It's just kind of a nice perspective shift, or way to maintain a perspective of the good stuff in your life, right? I heard a quote once that was like, if you woke up the next morning, like if you woke up tomorrow and you only had the things that you were grateful for or that you showed gratitude for, what would you actually have in your life? And that was like, wow, that's such a great quote, because if we're not spending time in gratitude and we're just kind of like, could you imagine if everything just disappeared that you weren't grateful for? And then it would be like, oh, wow, maybe I should have been grateful for that, right? And then like count the blessings, all that stuff. Anyway, there's a lot, I think, important benefits that we discussed that you get from writing down your actionable steps every day that's going to take you closer to your goal. And honestly, the biggest part of this is that it builds your confidence. It lets you sit in gratitude, which is life-changing, and it actually takes you to your goal. So you'll reach your goal. You'll accomplish what you set out for. And I also believe that Tony Robbins talks a lot about how we all need progress. We need to be, progressing towards something. And that's part of one of our needs as people. And so when you're doing this, you're actually seeing that you're making progress. You're taking action. And it's using your time in a quality way. You're not just wasting the time that you're given in a day, right? You're using it to actually bring you where you want to go. So I love it. So I just also wanted to say that if you have a goal, but you're not sure what your actionable steps would be, let's talk about it. So just write in the comments what your goal is and what what you're trying to accomplish. And maybe we can brainstorm together some ideas, some actionable steps that you could be taking to get there. So I don't know, maybe we'll come up with something and you can get to work. So thank you so much for joining and listening, and have a fantastic day again. Enjoy your 4th, and remember that the world needs you, you make a difference, and you are deeply loved and appreciated. Have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.